So the chaos started at about 10 o'clock or 10:30. And there were moments before that where something loud would fall off the stage and everybody was like already on edge just because shooting culture in America is just so prevalent. So I remember one time something fell off the stage and the DJ with the microphone was like, "Don't run, like it's just equipment, don't run." And so when this situation happened, nobody said that. I looked up in the air and I saw gun smoke. So I immediately grabbed my god sister and we just booked it to the trucks, booked it to our horses, and just tried to get out of there as soon as possible, really.
I mean, but before that, it was peaceful, it was nice.
Before that, we were having a great time. It felt almost like too good to be true, of course, because when you go to these high, capacity events, it kind of seems like nowadays you're kind of waiting for that to happen. Or if you go to the mall or the movie theater, you're kind of looking over your shoulder, waiting for it to happen. And every time we heard a loud noise, they just reassured us, like I said, that was just equipment or something like that. So we were all just living our best lives, as people say. The horses, there was kids out there playing around, joking. It was a good time until that happened.
It seemed like a unique event where it's not your just ordinary concert. It was kind of like a trail ride type ride around.
Right. So that's why we were there. My family's a part of like a riding organization with horses. And so we were there with our friends, our family, people who we ride horses with all of the time. And there was kids on horses. There were games for them, food trucks. I saw kids hanging out of the cars. It's kind of like a parade, but you're actually in the parade. So you're just riding back and forth away from campus or through campus and then coming back. So it was definitely a family-friendly event starting off.
And it was nice. It
was nice. I had a great time. I sent some pictures over to our producers. It was a really awesome time.
So then let's get to the chaos. I mean,
yes.
You describe the scene. What happened when you
Yeah. So at about 10 o'clock, the concert was still ongoing. Everybody was still dancing, doing line dancing, having a great time. I was stage left at that time, so I was dancing with my god sisters and doing some line dances, having a good time. She looked at me and she was like, "Let's go walk around a little bit. Let's just have some fun, go see what the crowd is about." So we went to stage right instead of stage left. And so we were there for probably about 3 minutes, and then suddenly we heard gunfire and everybody ducked. And then I looked in the sky, like I said, and I saw gun smoke. So I just immediately grabbed her and I ran. And as we were running, people were almost getting trampled. The first thing I thought about was Astroworld. I'm like, something bad is going to happen. This is going to be crowd crush, crowd surge, and something's going to happen. So I took her and we tried to run on the outskirts of things. But I can honestly say we were running in fear of our lives. Like, my brother called and he was like, "Where are you guys at right now? Get to the truck, get to the truck. I'm looking for you girls." Like, everybody was in sheer panic. And before that, it was just nothing of the sort. I didn't even imagine something like this could happen, honestly.
Obviously chaotic. I mean, would you say Astroworld? Were people just pushing each other out the way?
People were pushing each other out of the way. People were elbowing each other. We had to lock fingers, me and my god sister and her friend. I'm leading the line because I'm the oldest one. I'm like, "Girls, come on. This is not a game." And seeing it on TV is one thing, reporting about it is one thing, but when you're in the middle of a mass shooting, as we're classifying it, it just makes me want to bust out in tears even now. That's why I didn't wear makeup to work today, because I'm crying every 5 seconds because a student could have got shot. Those people I was just line dancing with, it could have been one of them, because we had just left that area, dancing, hugging each other, just happy to see people outside having a good time, and then that just suddenly came to an end.
You said you saw the smoke. So you were close enough.
I was very close. I was about 20 steps away from the gunfire. Like I said, we had just left that location. And then just speaking to the security portion of the event, there was security there. They were kind of orchestrating traffic more so. There was one fight that broke out and they were like, "Oh, you guys are going to jail. The officers are coming to get you." They were saying that from the DJ booth. And so I remember the first time we walked towards the concert area, there was nobody really checking us at all. There was nobody. We had wristbands and we just kind of walked in. Then I went back to do something with my horse and I came back, and then they were like, "Where's your wristband? Let's check you." So they were like, "Move to the lady down there so she can pat you down." So I moved to the lady down there and she looked in my purse. Well, she barely looked in my purse. I opened my purse for her to look in and she was like, "Do you have a gun in there? Do you have a knife in there?" I'm like, "No." And I was talking for my god sisters too. I was like, "No, we don't have anything." She's like, "Okay, well, come in. I'm tired of checking people's bags." And I know that she's waking up today. She has to be heartbroken because somebody slipped past you with a weapon because you didn't care. You were just letting anybody in, and your excuse was that you were tired.
Yeah.
Now 7 people got struck by gunfire. It just, it's very heartbreaking.
We have to be more careful.
Have to be more careful. You guys are there for a reason. And she wasn't the only one out there. It was about 6 other people, 6 other officers. I'm assuming they were sheriff's deputies because I saw sheriff's vehicles, sheriff's SUVs, but I don't know.
Well, speaking of that, how was law enforcement after that? Did they keep it, like, was it?
It was immediately shut down. The DJ, like the person who had the microphone on the stage was like, everybody go home, this is shut down. This one was actually gunfire. And people just kind of cleared out for themselves within a very quick time. But the way that the pasture is set up, there's like one way in and one way out. So imagine like 1,000 F-150s with their trailers and their horses. Everybody's trying to get like bottleneck out of there. It took us about an hour to actually leave the pasture. And we were afraid, like, we don't know where this shooter is. They can come up to somebody's truck, start shooting, anything. So
your opinion, you're going to a nice event,
yeah,
and you're thinking it's going to be family, and then this happens, and we're in the news and we see it all
right,
the time, but when it happens to you, what's your feeling like?
I'm really feeling shaken up. Like I had to take an hour this morning before I came to work and just kind of let myself cry and just think about what happened because, like I said, I was there like 3 minutes earlier. I was in that exact place. And I'm sure that some of those gunshots weren't intended for those people because everybody was kind of packed like sardines, like concert style. So I'm sure somebody got hit by a stray bullet, ricochet, material, anything like that. So it's heartbreaking. It's sobering. It's sobering to know, like, also that those were very well could have been college kids, like their parents maybe in another state right now, waking up to the news that their child has been shot. Then they said the youngest victim could have been 8 years old. We don't have that confirmed right now, but the youngest victim is believed to be 8 years old. That's just like, I'm shell shocked about it. I'm trying not to become desensitized to it, but in the news, you kind of got to put on your tough coat and kind of be desensitized to stuff just so you can report the facts. Yep. But when you find yourself in the middle of it, it's just like a wake-up call, honestly, because it could happen to anybody. You guys could have had a coworker that was shot today. Like, it could have been me quickly and easily, and it all happened so fast. Like, it's just still unbelievable. I'm speechless about it.
And what, you personally, are you kind of like nervous going to big events like this now? Or
I was nervous about going to big events like this before. Like I said, going to the Galleria Mall or going to the movie theater is a stretch for me because I know that anything can happen at any time. But I'm like, oh, this is a family event. There's horses here. Like, trail rides happen all the time. So I never expected that to happen. And it started off relatively good. There were thousands of people, just seas of people enjoying themselves, dancing, eating some good barbecue. Like, everybody was just having a great Sunday night. And then Prairie View had an event on Saturday also that was successful. Nobody got injured. It didn't seem like any shootings happened. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go to this one, hang out with my family on a nice Sunday evening, and we'll just, you know, figure it out from there. But definitely took me by surprise. I'm definitely more cautious now going out, like just thinking about my next major event that I'm going to. I just gotta be cautious at all times. Yeah.
Right, perfect.